Hey parents, and welcome. I'm glad you're joining in today to my parent coaching session. Today I want to talk to you about how to teach your children how to make an appeal for you to change your mind about something. So let's see how that's going to look. You know what the reality is, when kids get older and they begin to move in the older elementary ages and into the teen years, they want to have more responsibility and they want to have more freedom to make their choices. So they may have issues sometimes with what you're asking them to do, and maybe they have something important to say about the request that you've made. They need to learn how to respectfully appeal to you, and that's the key, because perhaps they've been whining and they've been moaning and groaning and storming around and stomping feet and slamming doors and throwing a temper tantrum, and that's not the way to make a wise appeal for you to change your mind. So this is a communication tool that I want to teach you that will help not only them, but it will help you to develop some really good communication skills with your child and will help you to teach them a lifelong skill. So this is, the wise appeal is a privilege for children who have already learned how to obey the first time without complaining. See, if they're not doing that, they're not ready to make a wise appeal. And so I've done other sessions on that about how to work with your child to answer the first time and to obey the first time. It should just be an ongoing practice in the home. Obey when? The first time. You start teaching that at a very young age. And so once they've learned to do that, they are ready to accept some more independence with responsibility. So I'm getting this information from a book called Say Goodbye to Whining, Complaining, and Bad Attitudes in You and Your Kids. And it's by Dr. Scott Turansky and Joanne Miller. I love these authors and I use them frequently. So when you ask your child to do something, they can ask if they can appeal your request. Now, here is the formula. You've asked them to do something and they repeat it back. I know you would like for me to, and whatever it is, take out the garbage, clean up my toys now, go straight to do my homework, go to bed right this minute, whatever it is. And then they say these words. It's creating a bit of a problem for me because, and it has to be a justifiable answer. It can't just be because I didn't get to play long enough. Maybe that's true, but they're going to have to elaborate a little bit more. And then the third part is, may I please? And then they make the request. So here is again what it is. I know you want me to. That means they've heard what you've said. Then they say it's creating a bit of a problem because, and then they say, may I please? And they come up with another solution. Now you may accept it or you may not, but it is teaching them good skills for the future. Well, the first phrase, I know you want me to, helps them to identify with the concerns and the requests that you have. Many parents feel misunderstood sometimes, and they feel as if the kid's just not getting the message. This helps them to understand what you've asked, and they repeat it, they parrot it back to you. Parents are more likely to listen if they know that the child has understood the request, the command for what they are to do. The second phrase, which is, that's causing me a bit of a problem, helps the parent to understand that the child is in a predicament and they've come up with a reason to discuss this. And it also helps teach the child to articulate an issue without whining. So this is something that's taught, it's practiced, you do role play with it so they get the full idea. And then the third phrase, which is may I please, lets the child offer a creative solution that addresses both the objections of the parent and the concerns of the child. Now remember, I taught high school English for many, many years, and one of the things I taught was writing a persuasive argument. this is part of that strategy, and it really helps kids to know how to do that, to be persuasive, but use good reason and good logic. It might sound something like this. 15-year-old Blake comes in from school, and Dad asks him to cut the grass. Dad says, "Hey, Blake, did school go okay?" And Blake says, "Oh, Dad, yeah, I had an algebra test, and I think I did okay." And Dad says, "Good. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'd like for you to go out and cut the grass now." Well, here's one way it could play out. Blake is irritated. He says, "Mow the yard. I don't want to, not now." And Dad feels like things are getting intense, and he says, "Please mow the grass now." And Blake stomps upstairs, and he slams the door. And Dad is yelling at the bottom and says, "Blake, come down here right now. How dare you?" Hey, have y'all experienced that? You know. On the other hand, let's see what happens with a wise appeal. Blake uses certain tools to express his feelings in a respectful way. So here's how it might sound. Blake says, "Dad, I understand you want me to cut the grass, but I've really had a tough day. I'm really tired. Could I just rest for a little while and mow the grass at 5:30? Do you hear what was all in that? I understood you. I heard you, but I've had a really rough day. Can you extend it a little bit?" Now, Dad gets to listen to see if that's a reasonable request and then respond. And we hope Dad responds appropriately. It might be a no for some various reason, but Dad needs to carefully articulate his comeback to that. Dad, hopefully, it would work out, and he would say, "Sure, son, you get some rest, and I'll see you later." So that is how it works to give a wise appeal. Now, some children may try to use it to manipulate you. Well, we know that many of them are going to do that. So you have to really sort through that and teach them the difference and work with them and coach them. It's unacceptable to use manipulation to get their way. They always won't get what they want, but many times it will just work out for them, and it will work out for you. And it is a wonderful tool to teach them. And this kind of appeal teaches children how to compromise, how to think about what others need and want, how to communicate, and how to negotiate. You decide when it's appropriate for your child to do this. So when we teach this wise appeal, you can teach your child a skill that can be used for a long time. Now, go out and parent well.